All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Spring TED Talks. We're here for our first set of TED Talks, and we're excited to be here this afternoon. We are going to go ahead and get our program started with an opening prayer, and then we'll move forward from that point. Alejandra is going to come say that prayer for us.
Dear Heavenly Father, we're very grateful to be here today. Please bless the speakers that they will be able to get across the message that they have been preparing for. Please bless that we can have a good day and that we will all be safe. And please bless that everything will work well and that the weather will stay nice. We're grateful for you and thy Son. We say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Awesome. We are going to get started with the music video created by this group so that we can get to know each other a little bit better and introduce our speakers. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with that video.
Woke up in London yesterday, found myself in the city near Piccadilly. Don't really know how I got here. I got some pictures on my phone, new names and numbers that I don't know. Address to places like Abbey Road. Day turns to night, night turns to whatever we want. We're young enough to say, oh, this has gotta be a good life. This has gotta be a good life. This could really be a good life, good life. We say, oh, this is feeling that you can't fight. The city is on fire tonight. This could really be a good life, a good, good life.
Spend my days with a woman unkind, smoke my stuff and drink all the wine. Made up my mind, make a new start, going to California with a naked.
All right, awesome. Wow, that's a bright light. Okay, thank you guys all for being here. It's awesome to see you guys here. It really means the world to me that you guys were able to take time out of your day to be here. My warmest regards and thanks to all of you, really. I've run out of phrases to say to help me stall, so okay, here we go. Well, hopefully, I've just given you guys all a little time to laugh. Most of you guys really didn't laugh. That's fine. Just think of a time when you have laughed and how that made you feel. Because when we laugh out loud, like actually laugh, not just a little, laugh when our friend sends us a meme on Instagram or something, when we really do we let in oxygen into our body, which results in a reduced heart rate, and it affects our parasympathetic system, which I will get back to. But today I will be speaking on why we need comedy, why it is good to laugh, and why we need to laugh through life. So firstly, why comedy? Okay, so comedy has many forms, but at the center of it is the idea to give relief to people. It's a form of entertainment where people can go and feel good, feel relaxed, give a space to laugh, and as we just learned, laughter actually has a positive effect on us, on our health. So looking back at the history of comedy, this is well known from scholars as the father of comedy. His name is Aristophanes. So he lived in Athens, Greece from 450 to 388 BC. Okay, and so he was a comedic playwright. And at his time, the big stress and thing on everyone's mind was the Peloponnesian War. Because, ever since humans have been around, we've dealt with stresses in our lives. For him and his people, it was the war. For us, it's school, work, finances, relationships, anxieties that we deal with managing our time. But for this guy, it was a war. And what he did is he wrote jokes about the Peloponnesian War in his plays. So he had actors playing rulers and kings just as morons who accidentally locked peace away in a cave, and they lost the key and they couldn't find it. So I guess we got to keep going to war against the Spartans. Or he had actresses playing the wives of these rulers and leaders who said, I won't let you touch me anymore. I won't be with you anymore if you keep going to war. And it worked, and then the war would just end. So these people really adored him and adored these plays. What's ironic about that is these people were the ones dealing with this war and the ones that had to, send people off or lose family members within the war. What I think we learn from this piece of history is that comedy is not just a coping mechanism for dark times, but it can really be kind of a remedy to help us in hard times to make sense in light of a situation. To not see life so serious, but to kind of see that there's still good while we're going through some hard times. That's really a key point to comedy. And now I want to talk about why it's good to laugh. Laughter is obviously going to be a direct result of comedy and a good time, but there's really good health benefits to why we should laugh. As I said before, it affects our parasympathetic system. So basically, we have our parasympathetic system and our sympathetic system. So our sympathetic system, this affects our fight or flight. So I want to look at increased breathing and the heart rate and see the difference. And so we're going to have increased breathing, accelerated heart rate. And when we feel that for too long or for too often, it can really have a wear and tear in our bodies. But when we laugh, when we enjoy ourselves, we can actually kick into gear our parasympathetic system, which has decreased heart rate, slower breathing. Two other things that are really good for it among studies are mild exercise and deep breathing. But the third one, it's laughter. Just being able to enjoy ourselves can help us to not be so anxious and stressed with increased heart rate and increased breathing. So what I want to talk about now is, well, please know that I'm not saying that laughter is a cure for those who have been diagnosed with anxiety, depression, and stress. That's not what I'm saying. But it's that laughter can help us can help us to relax and just make sense of all that's going on, to not be able to get so caught up in all the responsibilities that we have, because those things can actually be pretty good for us. So this is a study of amongst people who are stressed in America. So at the top of those who are stressed, 54% of them say that they are stressed because they have too many responsibilities overall. They just got too much things going on, and that's why I'm stressed. They just can't manage all of it. Too many things going on. Well, what I was thinking about is that can actually be seen as a good thing, right? Don't we want responsibilities? We want to go to college. We want to date that person. We want to then get married. We want to then have kids. We want to get that job and then get that job promotion, have our kids be successful. But all these things are responsibilities and can lead to more stress. So if we can't be able to see these responsibilities as they really are and remember why we wanted them in the first place, it can really build up. And then, like this graphic said, then we're going to be among the 54 and say, that's just causing me stress. We got to be able to see these things not as just checklists. I got to do this to make my wife happy, and then do the homework, and then take out the trash, and then do the project, and blah, 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 blah. But if we can find time to just enjoy all the things we have and laugh and take light of the world that we have instead of taking it so serious, it's going to be a lot more enjoyable. So now I want to talk about maybe how we can see the world in a half glass full type way, where there's half air, there's half water, it's always full. The things I want to talk about are pretty basic, really simple things that we can do, okay? So, because I think we manage our time in a poor way when we do have free time, causing ourselves to be more stressed. And then we see the world in a half empty way instead of half full way. So imagine this with me, okay? You get home from a stressful day of school or work, and instead of doing something meaningful with the time you have, you just scroll Instagram or you surf through Netflix, and you lose track of time, and you're like, oh my gosh, I wanted to get done after work or school, and now you feel just more stressed that you didn't manage your time wisely. Or another one that I've done myself is you get home from a stressful whatever, school or work, what have you, and you put on a movie that's just full of tense, action-packed scenes, and it just keeps your fight or flight all the way up. You're very anxious through all of it, and then you wonder why you couldn't fall asleep that night, and you just still feel stressed the next day. I've done that one too. So this is what maybe we should be doing. Some examples I have. Come home and enjoy a nice board game. Look at these people. They're all laughing. You can have a good time with your friends or family. Surely conversation is going to lead to laughter. If you hate board games, I know some people who do. Go outside. This clicker. I go outside. This is our mountain hike in Rexburg. Or play some games with your friends. That's going to lead to a good time. Okay? This is helping you relax and laugh. Or if you have cold weather, if you're in Rexburg, go back inside. This time put on a comedy movie. If you don't get anything from my speech today except that I told you to go home and watch Tommy Boy, that's a good thing. Okay? I'm happy with that. Remember that this is a great movie. Good laugh. We can do these things to help us relax and to calm down. We actually need to retrain our bodies into how we relax. Because sometimes we think we're winding down for the day, but really we're just causing ourselves more stress by not either doing something meaningful or managing our time. So we can do simple things like this to make time to laugh, to make time to do something that's going to entertain ourselves in a way that's meaningful. Okay? Now I want to mention some people that are really good at this as I talk about my last point, how we can just laugh through everything in life. Okay? So firstly, this is Sister, this clicker, Marjorie Pay Hinckley. So she is the wife of Gordon B. Hinckley, who's the former president of the church. And she was just known for her smile, her infectious humor, always making people laugh. If you've heard her speak, you've probably laughed. And she was known for saying, the only way to get through life is to laugh through it. You either laugh or cry. I prefer to laugh because crying gives me headaches. And I love that. She probably had a ton of responsibility as her husband being the president of the church, but she was just always found with a big smile on her face. Another one is Charles Barkley. He's a former basketball player, now broadcaster. He's always known for having a big smile on his face and making people laugh. Recently, he was asked about what it's like to be a celebrity. And he said, well, I don't like the term celebrity, but being a celebrity comes with a lot of noise and responsibility. Making sure I always have quiet time with my wife and have time to just laugh by myself so I can stay sane is what I do most. Close quote. So, going off of that, laughing helps to ground us, helps us to make sense of why we do what we're doing and to not get caught up in all of it, to get lost in all of it. That's what Sister Hinckley and Charles Barkley were talking about. There's meaning to taking life not so seriously each day, but to be able to see things as they really are and to just sit back and enjoy it and to have a laugh. And that laugh is going to it's going to affect your health in a positive way. Laughing enriches our lives, and it will change your life. Thank you.
All right, everyone, give it up one more time for Davis. If I was a good MC, I'd probably tell you a joke after his TED Talk, but I'm not that humorous, so I'm going to have to work on the principles that we've learned. As we're transitioning here, our next speaker is going to be Abby. We are setting up the volume, and we will have her come out. So we're going to play her music while she finishes getting set up, and we'll transition. Give a warm welcome for Abby.
Once upon a younger year, when all our shadows disappeared, the animals inside came out to play. Went face to face with all our fears, learned our lessons through the tears, made memories we knew would never fade. One day my father, he told me, son, don't let it slip away. He took me in his arms, I heard him say, when you get older, your wild heart will live for younger days. Think of me if ever you're afraid. He said one day you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember. My father told me when I was just a child, these are the nights that never die. My father told me.
things. A poor diet was the leading factor of a stroke, and there could be an 80% reduction in your stroke if you are living a healthy lifestyle, and this includes eating better and also your activity level. The next one I want to touch on is type 2 diabetes. As you can assume, type 2 diabetes is increasing just because of the way Americans are eating these days. But type 2 diabetes is triggered by high fat, sugar, and salt intake. So now that you understand the need for change, the short-term and the long-term effects, I want to focus on what actually is a bad diet and what actually is a good diet. A bad diet is too much sugar, fat, or salt, but how much is too much? According to the American Heart Association, sugar should be limited to 3 to 4 teaspoons for a child per day. Well, a typical breakfast of a bowl of cereal and a cup of orange juice is 11 teaspoons of sugar. So before you're setting your kid out for school, they've already consumed about 3 times the amount of sugar that they should have. Then for lunch, they have a lunch bowl, and the average lunch bowl contains about 12 teaspoons of sugar. So then they get home, they throw a pizza in the oven, and that contains 1 teaspoon of sugar per serving. So your child is going to bed having consumed 24 teaspoons of added sugar, and just so you remember, the recommended amount is 3 to 4 teaspoons of sugar. This is about 8 times the amount that is recommended. So now I want to talk about salt. The FDA recommends that an individual who is 14 years or older should get 2,300 milligrams of salt per day. However, the average American consumes 3,400 milligrams of salt per day. For children under 14, it's recommended that they get about 1,100 milligrams of salt. Now let's jump into fat. The American Heart Association recommends that for children, they should get 30 to 35% of their calories through fats. But this should be the good fats like fish, nuts, and oils. So now that we know what a bad diet is, I really want to dive into what is considered a good diet. If you look at the screen here, you can see what a child should be having for breakfast, and for lunch, and for dinner. My clicker, sorry. As you can see, everything here has some sort of vegetable, protein, fruit, dairy, and grain. If you want your child to thrive and be successful, this is the meals that they should be eating. Here are some recommendations for children ages 1 year old all the way to 18. Just to sum it up, as you can see, for milk and dairy, they should be getting about 2 to 3 cups. For lean meat and beans, about 1.5 to 6 ounces. For vegetables, they should be getting about 3/4 of a cup to 3 cups. And then for fruit, 1 to 2 cups. And then for grains, they should be getting about 2 to 7 ounces. So there is a need to change the childhood nutrition that is currently going on. And if children are eating better, they will have stable energy, better concentration, strong bones and teeth, better immune systems, prevention of diseases, and they can even have improved mental health and so much more. If you take away one thing from this presentation today, just remember that you have the power to influence the future, and you have the power to give your kids the proper nutrients that they need to support them in their education and to help them thrive and to live a healthy life. Thank you.
All right, give it one more time for Abby. To wrap up our speakers for today, we'll be turning the time over to Kaylee. As we get her ready to go, we're going to go ahead and play her music. Can I get another applause for the speakers? Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm not a bad guy. Maybe I wanna be the hero sometimes. So used to people treating me like I'm evil. You know, one never wants to play nice. I just wanna be the good guy, but every time I try, someone loses their life. Maybe I wasn't born to be a hero. I should be evil. Well, get all try it. Monster, demon, savage, evil, fun, no hero. Maybe I should be a supervillain. Maybe I should be a supervillain. Maybe I should be a supervillain.
Okay. Too far. Okay. How many of you have watched reality TV like The Bachelor before? That's quite a few of you. Okay, so my TED Talk is about how to create a villain. When I was 12 years old, I absolutely loved The Bachelor. Me and my mom, we would sit down, grab a bucket of popcorn, and then just snack on it while watching The Bachelor. I loved the drama. Although I was a little bit judgmental of some of the characters. I'd be like, why is she so mean? There's like no need to be that rude. Or it's just a date card. Calm down. It's not that big of a deal. However, as I grew up and started my video production major, I realized just how much you can do through the video editing process. And this is why I decided to do this topic. So currently, civics science says that 52% of adults in America watch reality TV. That is over half. I was flabbergasted by these results. Now, my question is, we have to remember, is it actually reality that they are showing us? So, why is reality TV so popular? Maybe we enjoy the drama. I know I certainly do. We like to see who betrayed who, or maybe who said who to what. Or maybe it's something a little bit different. Maybe we feel a more connection to the people, because these people are real, so we can put ourselves in their shoes. I liked this quote by, "It's time to start taking reality TV more seriously," by Julia Joy. We like watching the train wreck character to remind ourselves that even if we are messed up in our own way, we are not the train wreck. No one wants to be the villain. So when we end up messing up or something like that, well, we say, well, at least I'm not as bad as that person. Although maybe they aren't really as bad as they seem. The producers, they're in it for the money. And what makes money? Drama. It keeps us coming back. We need a villain in order to fill that drama. Now, how do they create their villains? Some people go onto the show and they are willing to create that drama. They're like, I'm here for the money and the fame. I'm gonna be your villain. And then that makes it super easy for the producers. However, when there's not a villain, the producers will maliciously change people's character into something that they want. So in the article, How Regular People Get Turned into the Most Hated People on TV, Jean spoke to a few reality TV stars, and here's what they revealed. Alex, from the Big Brother, talked about how they were taken out of the environment that they were comfortable in. They were only allowed to sleep during designated times. There was no naps or anything like that. And in return, this made her very grumpy and caused conflict. This is what they want. They want us to start drama. Now, I also have another one, Sandra. Jeannie also talked to Sandra, and Sandra explained
She gave an example of how the producers asked her to ask a question to the group, which girls they didn't like. And that was the storyline of the episode. If there's not enough drama for the producers to take from, they're going to create it. They're going to dig through that pile and be like, I choose you. You're now our villain. And it's hard to say no to the producers when they carry your whole image in your hand. You want to please these producers, so of course you say no. Then there's David. David in the show was their so-called villain. He made a donation to Beyond Blue. However, they didn't put it in the scene because they're just like, no, it doesn't fit his character, I'm sorry. And Gina then explained it didn't serve the producer's narrative to have a villain say he did something nice. So how does this affect the stars? Most of these stars don't know what they're signing up for when they get onto reality TV. In the article, Reality TV Fails Its Stars by Chika Nixie, it gives some good examples from Love Island. And I think one of the most saddest ones that I found is there were 2 people who committed suicide from all the harassment that they were getting. And that's absolutely devastating. And someone should not go through so much hate that they commit suicide because of it. And of course, the program tried to solve this by keeping an eye on the actors, but it's not enough. They still destroy their image so much. Now, from the same article, Jack Fritcham, who won season 4 of Love Island with his now ex-girlfriend, Danny Dyer, recently revealed that he attempted suicide after appearing on the show and explained that his mental health took a radical dive due to financial and social issues for which he was not prepared for. The fact that these stars don't just have to deal with social problems, but now they also have to deal with financial issues. Imagine someone coming to tell you, like, oh, you lost your job because of what you said. And then there's Rachel Neus, who also deals with a lot of hate. So after the episode, the woman tells all, this is what I found from Bachelor Nations on ABC YOT.
Hateful messages as soon as the episode aired, a lot of racist comments toward me and just, calling me the N-word or calling me, jungle Asian, all because I got a rose. It's just been very frustrating. The episode aired and I went to sleep and I woke up and all of my social media was hacked because people were privately messaging me. Just hateful stuff about me, and I don't understand.
The love for these women, for the most part, has been really remarkable. But for all of the love that Joey and these women have received, there's also sadly been a noticeable rise in hate on social media. And I just wanted to ask the ladies, show of hands, if you've had a hateful message or a comment on social media throughout the season.
I want you to think and see how many of those girls just raised their hand. How many of them have also thought about suicide, have also been depressed because of all these hate comments. And all I gotta ask is, why? Why do they have to go through this? And why is there so much hate around these people? These are real people with real lives that have been stolen from them. So what can we learn from this? Don't hate on these people. You never actually know if it's reality. The producers could have just made something up for a storyline. Or maybe it's just a mistake. These people are human. They're gonna make mistakes, especially with the environment that they're in. They're not used to it, and they're constantly competing with other women or men. The producers are professional story writers. If they want something, they can change it. And I know, as a video editor, I can change somebody's words real quick. Now, I'm not saying, don't ever watch The Bachelor or Love Island again. But I am saying, think and question, is this reality?
All right, we'd like to send a special thank you to all those who have given their TED Talks today, especially Davis, Abby, and Kaylee. We are going to wrap up this event with some refreshments in the back. For those who need a gluten-free option, we have that available. So please enjoy and feel free to ask questions to the speakers. Thank you so much for coming to our event. Thank you.